by Alistair Bunkall, defense correspondent. When a Belgian judge gives his verdict at 10 a.m. in The Hague, he will be delivering the final judgment on a regime that brutalized a generation in Central Europe. Ratko Mladic was the Butcher of Bosnia, the general who oversaw the four-year siege of Sarajevo and massacre in Srebrenica in July 1995. Under his command, tens of thousands were slaughtered. For a time he was the world's most wanted man, but as much as the world condemned him as a war criminal, his supporters feted him as the defender of Bosnian Serb interests. Ratko Mladic's legacy in the Balkan Wars. Image: a child holds a poster with portraits of people at its Srebrenica. Image: people dodged snipers during the siege of Sarajevo, which had more than 10,000 for years. They refused to believe the allegations of genocide. It was only once a video was discovered in 2005 showing the execution of 6 young Bosnian Muslims outside Srebrenica that the doubts started to fade. Mladic went on the run, evading capture and living under protection for 16 years. His family tried to have him declared, falsely claiming they had not seen or heard from him in years. Brussels insisted Serbia hand him over if they wanted candidacy for the EU, and the pressure eventually paid off. Image: Ratko Mladic after his arrest in Belgrade, Serbia. In May 2011, Mladic was finally arrested in the early hours of the 26th of May 2011. 4 cars carrying unmarked security forces entered a village in northern Serbia while everyone was still asleep. They found Mladic walking in the yard of a house belonging to his cousin. He surrendered and was taken to Belgrade. Attempts to throw out his trial on grounds of ill health were rejected. Efforts to delay proceedings were defeated. The butcher is now an elderly man. A series of strokes have aged the 74-year-old. He might be frail of body, but his reputation lives long and for grim reasons. The numbers are staggering: 100,000 in the war, millions were left homeless, 50,000 women were raped. Image: another 409 Srebrenica victims were identified in 2013. To this day, bones are still discovered in the forests around Srebrenica. Mladic still has his defenders. The current mayor of Srebrenica, a Serb, denies the genocide. He is not alone in that view. What happened more than 20 years ago still divides communities. The International Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia in The Hague was set up in 1993 purposely for trying the crimes committed in Europe's worst conflict since World War II. Image: more than 8,000 Muslim men and boys were murdered at Srebrenica. Mladic is the only verdict left for the court to deliver. It will close next month, after almost a quarter of a decade of work, 5,000 witnesses, 11,000 trial days, 2.5 million sheets of evidence and 83 convictions. Mladic's will be the 84th and final. Some bemoan it for being too lenient, others dismiss it as an arm of NATO. Judicially, though, it has done its job. It has painstakingly put away those guilty of gross murder, allowing Europe to put behind it a dark period of recent history. Many of Mladic's victims and their families have traveled to The Hague to hear today's verdict. It will no doubt resurrect unwelcome memories for them, but 2 decades on, they will get the justice they must have never thought possible.